Yeah.
Hello.
Here we are. Guys, what do we got going on? We got a lot of new swag in the store. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. There's some funny stuff. We keep adding new stupid things.
Oh, the HMAF brand I'm having so much fun just creating the stupidest ideas and the funniest ideas and putting them. If you have any ideas for the HMAF brand, by all means, like, we're always looking for something.
So here's the model. If you want to contribute a stupid idea for these things, it's like, ask yourself, hey, I got this dumb idea for a class. Would you buy it? And you go, no. And then you go, okay, here it is anyway. Or a product that's like, this is the product. And you're like, I wouldn't buy that. You're like, well, I built it anyway. So if it's those, we want them. Let's put them in there. Let's make it funny.
If you have an idea and you pass it by an officer and they give you a huge eye roll, we want to know about it, because that's what we're going to put on this shirt. Or hat or whatever it is. Where are we coming up? We're ending our season pretty soon. There's not too many other times to come chill with us.
Yeah, I just got back from 12 days on the road, from conference to conference to class, and we are finishing up October 17th, Hot Zone. And then we are going to be some judging stuff at the CBRNE Convergence in Orlando, October 28th. And I think that's the end of the year.
I think so as well.
So, all right. Interesting mailbag question here.
Yes, we do. Okay, so you apparently had mentioned previous episodes a funny little quote about drinking from your own pond water. And that seemed to have gotten a pretty decent amount of traction, because I have about 3 or 4 emails from people who are saying, give us an example. I'm going to paraphrase these 4. Some of them, one of them had the context of, wait a second, what do you mean that the FDNY was drinking from their own pond water? And what did you guys learn, or what was realized when you opened up your training to outside agencies? So I think that's what we kind of want to talk about and focus on today, because we often start a tech class or any kind of training by letting people understand that they're at a point in time where they don't know that they don't know what they don't know. And when we looked at this whole concept of drinking our pond water, right, we kind of were in that position. We didn't know that there was so much information outside of our department that we didn't know that there was no way for us to act on it. So what were some of the major lessons that we learned by opening ourselves up to outside training?
All right, to paint the training picture in New York City the right way is that me and Mike, we started our training endeavors kind of like right after 9/11-ish kind of thing. Not really, but close. So there was a major rush to train our people, right? I mean, like, there was a huge rush.
How many people and how much resources was there to train? Because I think that context is important as well.
All right, so just to put in a little bit of a flex for you guys, we are recently retired from a moderately sized metropolitan area. We got about 12,000 guys, and with that, generally speaking, they put about 3 classes of 300 probies in a year, right? And then some of those guys elevate over to special operations, where you would go to squads and rescues and hazmat and all that stuff. And in the Special Operations Command, I'm totally guessing at this, but I think there's about 800 guys.
That's what I've always heard. That are technician, like hazardous materials technician level people, and our technician is 120 hours, right? So right after 9/11, it was this mad dash to get everybody spun up, and of the 343 guys that were killed on 9/11, I'm going to say about 65 to 70% of them were special operations. It was a lot. I mean, it decimated all, I believe, but 2 special operation companies. They were all completely wiped out. Like, not obviously the guy's working. That's what I'm saying. So there was a mad rush, and we built everything back up very quickly from within. And that mode
perpetuated. It just kind of stayed on because it was we had a way of doing it now.
Right.
And that lasted
15 years?
I'm going to say, yeah, I was just about to say about 2015.
Right.
Because I'm going to say about
there were other things going on at the same time, right? Not only are they trying to replace the experience from the guys that they lost, but they need to replace the experience from the guys who are retiring, because that was the flood that was heading out. At the same time, the 9/11 reports were coming out, and the department realized that the hazmat capabilities of New York City were extraordinarily limited, and they literally had to exponentially grow the hazmat capabilities across the entire department. So you went from having, squads and rescue that kind of dabbled in hazmat to literally exploding out into a whole new section. So the whole growth happened at the same time they're trying to replace guys. They're now trying to expand out the program, bring in another level of hazmat people, which we would now call mission specific, right? Operations mission specific. FDNY called them Tech Level 1. And so this whole program was just exploding, and they had no choice but to use our own guys to teach our own guys. And like Bob said, that just kind of perpetuated.
Right. So, I mean, the only real, and I'll speak specifically from the hazmat side, the only real outside instruction we got was when we bought a new meter, which was seemingly every other week. And that's kind of a funny thing because, if you're a metering manufacturer, you want the FDNY to be using your meter. So we would get meters all the time. Legitimately once a month we get a brand new meter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything that was new. It was like, oh, wow, this is totally upending. It was mostly the same crap packaged in a different box with different buttons and a different colored jacket on it. But we would have a trainer come in and train us on that meter. And it was usually included in the package. Okay, I bought this meter and I get a day of training, whatever it is. And that was seriously the only experience to outside, because once we put the trainers in there, those guys never came back. We took what they 100% dropped on the table. We said, this 30% is good. And we remodified it to another program, which got whittled down over time. You know how that goes. And it gets completely conflated into something different. But that was it. That was it. That was the only exposure to the outside world. And I want to say it was 2015, maybe 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. We started getting guys back on the circuit, back going out to conferences.
Yes.
Teaching outside.
Right, actively, where the department was okay, we're going to send guys to a conference. That was one of the first steps, is guys going away.
Yeah.
Yep.
And going to conferences and sitting in other classes and having the right guys, right? Because when you come from a culture where our shit doesn't stink, right? We're so good we teach ourselves. We don't even need outside. And picking the guy that's no, I kind of want to learn. And he goes and sits in a class on trains or highway or something like that. And it's I've never heard that. And he goes up to the instructor and goes, where the hell did you get that? I've never heard that before. And the guy goes, oh no, he brings his receipts and he shows him, and he's like, holy crap, that's even better information. And it comes back. Right. And then it catches fire because now people are going, wait a second, you just burned down all. For example, I'll give you an example. We've mentioned this over time. Is there was so many wives' tales and myths in our job that were never challenged, that we were told when we came in that if you and your partner go down range and they go down, it is because a chemical has gone through their suit. Therefore, it's going through your suit. So leave him there and run.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, I get the secondary douche chills just listening to that statement, because for a while that's what that's what you were taught, so you bought into it because the guy in front of you is the freaking the end all be all, and then you become the end all be all, and then you teach what you were taught without any cross referencing with it. I know exactly what you.
So now there is a healthy regiment of external conferences, whether they be international, national, whatever, and there's a presence of New York City guys, and I will say we're even weak in that relative to our size. I go to Baltimore, and and I'm making St. Paul, St. Paul sends 4 guys, and FDNY will send 2, and it's like St. Paul has like 75 guys on the job, and FDNY has 12,000. You couldn't send. I mean, even in the hazmat thing, you have 600 guys to go. I get it. Not everybody wants to go, and not everybody can be funded to go. But I strongly recommend getting outside of your department and getting into classes, webinars, and expanding your thoughts. I was just yesterday doing a battery class in San Jose. And I was going over all the products on the market that we kind of matter-of-factly talk about, like, yeah, have you heard about this, or have you heard about that? And they're like, I've never even heard about that. And I'm like, okay, let's have a little discussion. I'm not going to tell you it's good or it's bad. I'm just going to say, go do your own research, and I can tell you what's happened to us and stuff like that. But even like our technician program in New York City has evolved from our guys delivering 100% of the conference's content to just, I believe yesterday, they have the ATF come in and do a little section. They have the FBI come in and do a little section.
Con Ed, our electric grid comes in. Yep.
Does gas, does electric, does steam. I mean, and guys at the school, the guys that are instructors, they're very reluctant to give away, oh, well, we should train our guys. Trust me, they're getting a better product. You're not a steam guy. That's what that guy did for 25 years. He's going to blow your doors off.
And as an instructor, when you sit through other people's stuff, you're doing the same thing, right? Like we do. It's no secret. We do a battery class. It's no secret. There's about 30 other people doing battery classes out there. As much as I can, when I go away to a conference, I sit in on different guys' battery class, because if I don't, then all I'm doing is drinking my own pond water. There's so many different things that are out there, different studies, different, we do a battery destroyers thing. We go, this guy has been involved, one of the guys from Ontario was involved overseas with some battery stuff in an area where they're really progressive with the batteries. He's bringing back information that I've never even heard of. So even if you're an instructor, you can get so much information from sitting in on other instructors' classes, and I mean, I don't think there's ever a time I've walked into an instructor's class or somebody's walked into one of my classes and I'm like, hey man, you teach this shit, get out of here. Like, who do you think you are? Are you trying to take my shit? Are you trying to learn? It's a pleasure and it's an honor. When somebody comes in, I've had, Chris Pfaff, a great instructor, very knowledgeable. I've sat in on his classes. He's sat in on my classes, and we embrace that. We encourage that, because if you're not, then from an instructor's point of view, you're drinking your own pond water. But I think one of the biggest things that FDNY hit moving forward when we started pulling in outside stuff is this concept of dry decon. I don't think if we weren't going to conferences, if we weren't doing outside stuff, I don't think, we never would have even been introduced to the concept of dry decon. And it's revolutionized the way that we decon. And, of course, we talk about it all the time because we honestly feel like everybody should be on board with the dry decon. Now, whether or not you want to go down the hybrid decon or the Dahlgren, we were just talking with another manufacturer yesterday, that they do a decon, D7, whatever it is that you want to do, that's a preferential choice. But the methods and the concepts are really the same through and through, and it can absolutely change the fundamentals of how the department runs. What are some other ones that have outside training? Propane. Do you remember the when FR came in and FR was doing some of the propane classes? Well, great class. Guys who were on Hazmat 1 for years learned so much from that class.
I want to go back to one thing that popped in my mind, and we said this in different parts, in different episodes, that the evolution of people, there's categories of people that are listening to us, and there's people that are like, I just want to stay fresh, or there's people that are like, I'm going for the promotion, or I'm looking to get ahead. If you are one of the small sliver of people that are like, I want to be the best. We've said this before. You go operations, you get, take the class for technician, you're starting to work towards the specialist, whatever that may be in your department or whatever it is. And we've said it multiple times, is to then instruct. That's the only way to really get your pinnacle, because you understand concepts from different facets and you can present it in that different way. And that's really where you start going up. We have the luxury now where we are an international training company, right? And so the guys that we have, working with us, have a lot of experience because they've gone through this evolution. You don't go from a white belt to a black belt in a day. It takes time to get the reps and
at least 3
really
weeks.
Good. Yeah, a couple weeks.
Most dojos, couple weeks.
But now imagine not. Because conferences only, we go to a lot of conferences. We go to like almost every conference in the country, and we probably go to like 18 to 20 a year, right? But we put on a ton more classes in different locales. So what I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity where you're getting to the point where you're like, I'm good enough to go out on the road, then get in with one of these companies like Chris Pfaff, like us, like whoever it is, and start dropping in there, because you're in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and you're talking to the guys, and now you're not drinking your own pond water.
Right.
You're like, oh my God, that's how you guys do that? That's a brilliant way. Can I take some pictures? And then you share. It's a collaboration. It's a symbiotic relationship. Conferences are great for the networking. I mean, the classes are good. You get 90-minute commercials, but the bar and the mixers afterwards is where the real work is done.
It's true.
Imagine doing a class for 4, 6, 8 hours, multiple days, where now after the class is done, you've established a contract with these guys where they like, can we show you around the fire station? If you're like,
yes,
I want to go back to the hotel, you're missing the whole point of this.
Yeah. All right. And to solidify your point, and I'm glad that you brought up, like Chris. So 2 points, right? If you are going to join a company to teach, make sure you're joining a company who's equally looking to make you as best as possible, as
right.
Right, like you want to join a company that is going to have your best interest in mind, and really nothing else.
Looking
Honest to God,
mentor you,
right.
Looking to advance your progress, looking to give workshops, not just the machine.
Right.
Like Chris, like Adam McFadden from Canada, another top
phenomenal,
unbelievable.
Right.
They are all about incentivizing, bringing up, helping out, showing. I don't know.
It's great. So, and then to your point, right? You talk with the guys afterwards. Yes, the training, right? But after the training, then they turn around and they train me. Right. And I don't mean that in like a funny sexual way. So, those emails can disappear. But they turn around and they go, hey, we had a run and we did it like this. We had this instance and we did it like this. And I'm like, that's cool. I would have never thought about that. Tell me more. Show me what you did. Show me how you did it. And now I'm learning something that I can then either put in my back pocket, add to the curriculum, or when we're consulting, somebody goes, well, these are our resources, this is our equipment, and I can go, oh shit, you know what? There was a department out in Idaho that had this exact same run, exact same resources. Let me connect you guys up, because I think you could learn from them. Because if you can't learn from me, you might as well learn from somebody who has done it and has the experience to it. There is so much benefit to reaching out and connecting and networking. We turn around some of the instructors that we have with us. They also are opening up their own training company.
Yeah.
And that's great, because they're just going to make us better. We're going to make them better. And this works on a personal instructing level. This works on a department level. There is no downfall
I'll give you one last piece on the way out the door on this one is that the outside training. I'm telling you, all you guys are thinking the same thing, is that sometimes your people don't want to hear your crap. And sometimes like somebody from the outside says something that you're like, I said that last week, and they're like, that blew my mind. Yes. I cannot believe that guy said that.
It's no different than your kids.
It's the same thing with the kids.
Right? I'll tell my son something 13 times. I know, doesn't do it. His friend's father says something, and he'll come running to me and be like, Dad, did you know I could do it like this? And I'm like, I'm going to freaking kill you.
I'm going to kill you.